Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keys here. Welcome to the Damo Show number... Fuck knows, 16, 17, whatever it is. We have got parcels. Now normally what I tend to do, I'm just going to let you in on a slight industry secret. Oh, by the way, Melissa's here.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm going to let you in on a slight secret, which is normally when I get stuff, I do tend to sneakily open it just in case it's anthrax.
We're living on the edge
or
today.
a bomb. Today, there's no opening. This is literally just, it is what it is. So if this is a bomb or some kind of incriminating evidence, then all I can say is we don't actually have time to go back and reshoot this.
Nope.
So this is literally, it is what it is. So whoever's sending stuff in, we are living on the edge. Oh, I like this. This is nice. This brings up something. Turbulence. Check this. Oh, I like that t-shirt. This kind of goes, I like that a lot. This goes back to a question we had last week, which I will read this and tell you. Dear Damo, just wanted to say that we absolutely love your videos. I love you. They really helped us out as a band. We hope you enjoy the merch and you get a chance to wear it on a video. We have also put the most recent EP in the parcel for you, which was recorded by Simon Jones of The Verve. Nice. It would mean the world to us if you could have a listen and let us know what you think. I absolutely will do that. Facebook is @TurbulenceSound. Faithfully, the boys from Turbulence. Thank you so much. I 100% will win this, will wear this. And the reason for that is because, as we talked about last week on this very show, what it comes down to when you're looking for merch is something you actually would wear, as opposed to just because you've been given it by the band. This 100% is something I would wear. I think that is very cool. I love this effect here. I think that's good. And it's Fruit of the Loom, which normally I have to say when people say Fruit of the Loom makes me go, eee. But that I think is really cool. So I will wear that. I will send you a picture of me wearing that on my Instagram. I will get this on the wall somewhere. We will find a place for it somewhere. Gonna get into places. So thank you so much to the boys from Turbulence, and I will be listening to that and I'll give you a shout on that. Number 2, before we get into questions, we've got some good questions this week. We've got some really good ones. So I want to talk about some futuristic shit is what I want to talk about. Ooh, Block 33. Ooh, look at this. A lighter. Block 33. Ooh, look, stickers for the wall. Look at this. Oh, just love this. It's like Christmas every week. Christmas every week.
What t-shirts?
Again, that is something I would wear. I will wear. So cool. Absolutely amazing. So thank you so much. In the Eye of the Hurricane, I'll be having a listen to this. I have got a journey tomorrow. I'm off to Swansea, so I've got a 3-hour journey. I'm going to take both of those CDs with me and have a good listen. I will get in touch and I'll make sure that your link is down below. If you've got some merch, then I should have it, because I am a collector of merch. I am a collector of things for this wall. I'm a collector of things that we can wear. These will go on the wall, and I'll use this to light candles for when I'm having a bath. So thank you so much for those. If I give you those, that's amazing. And right, on with the show. What have we got for us?
Okay. My first question is from Bruce, who's asking, is there any way back for selling music?
This is a question for Bruce.
Futuristic shit.
It is futuristic shit, and I actually put this in myself. This wasn't a hashtag Ask Damo. This was a true question where Bruce Dickinson is my old business partner when we set up BIM, and I was on the phone to him a couple of days ago, and he just said to me, do you think there is any way back for selling music because of the history and where we're at the moment and music being free? Do you think there is any way back for bands to actually be able to monetize enough that their music to make a living from it? Now, the reason why I've put this in is because I think it's a question that is going to take time to answer, but here's my answer. I said to him, and I'm saying to you right now, when you ask me, is there any way back for selling music, or how do you sell music? My answer to you is this: you are asking the wrong question, in my opinion. So we've started with a question of the wrong question. The question for me isn't, is there any way back for selling music, or can we make money from selling music? The question is, taking a step back, looking at what you are creating as artists, which is more than just music. What is the bit that you can monetize? Now that, to me, is an interesting question, because now we are talking about business, we are talking about branding, we are talking about excitement, we are talking about giving people something that adds enough value that you will then use that to actually, use that as in order to get money from it. Is there any way back from selling music? No. But that's because we are in a place now, I mean, something might change in the future, but we are in a place now which we have never been in before, which is music has always been attached to something. So the music is on the CD, I would buy the CD. The music is on the CD, but I'm buying the CD, and I'm buying a CD player to play it in. All of a sudden, I don't. I have a phone, which Al's got. I have a phone, and on that phone is music. So therefore, music is now not attached to anything. It's just something I can just go and get for free. So when bands say, buy our EP, and listen to it on Spotify, the first thing I think is, why the fuck am I gonna buy your EP? You've just given it to me. Nobody says, do you want this cup of tea? Yes. Do you want another one for £5? No, you've just given me this one. I don't need another one. So I think when it comes to selling music, I think we are in a place where it's very difficult to sell music because you have to be pushing stuff out. But if you look at other areas, merch, if you look at live tickets, if you look at, and with merch, I include CDs, I include vinyl, I include cassette tapes, I include those things in there. If you look at content, which I think is the new most valuable thing in the world, because content is something that you can hold for ransom. Content is something where you can build a brand in something and you can get everyone excited and everyone interested and everyone into what you do, and then you take it away. You literally just say, by the way, if you want this special bit over here, this is going to cost you money. And so, and there's always been ways that you can monetize once you've got a brand. For example, when you buy tickets, you buy a ticket and it's 50 quid to go and see a band. And they say, if you want a meet and greet, it's £1,000. And 10, 15 people in every city will go, yeah, I'll pay £10,000 to go and meet Lady Gaga or to go and meet Adele. That is a colossal amount of money because you've built the brand. And what is it that you're monetizing? Will Adele make money from her music? Well, maybe not Adele, she's massive. But if you look at a band, most bands, will they make money from music? Yeah, but is it enough to keep the whole thing sustainable? Not often, no. The music isn't what's keeping it sustainable, but the live gigs, the tours, the merchandise. So here's a thing that you will hopefully find interesting, which is a friend of mine plays guitar for a very successful YouTuber. And she is a YouTuber and a singer and an artist. But a YouTuber first. First and foremost, she's a YouTuber, and she's just made an album and she's taken that album out on tour. And record companies won't touch her because she's a YouTuber. They've just said, nope, festivals won't touch her because she's a YouTuber. So they've just gone, it's a bit like the X Factor where they go, no, I'm not interested, that's not real. She's still a singer, she's still an artist, and she's still got a product. And it doesn't matter that record companies don't give a shit. It doesn't matter that festivals won't take her on, because what she's done is her and her manager have booked a tour of gigs, which are I think the O2 Academies. They've booked them. They've absolutely rinsed it, where they've actually hammered selling them out, like easily sold out. And they said, and Ryan said to me, that they were selling not just merchandise as in over this like an 8-day tour, not just merchandise as in we made a couple of £100. I think they made like £25,000 worth of merchandise. 25 grand. That is the power of monetizing something, not the music. Because her fans harshly don't care as much about the music as they do about buying into her and all the other stuff. So the content is the key. So what she's done is she said, you want to be part of my gang? Now, it could be a meet and greet, which she does those as well, and you have to pay extra money to actually meet her and have a conversation and a picture. It could be that you're giving away something, you're giving away everything in order to monetize, a subscription. It could be so many different things. But for me, the question is not, can you monetize the music? That's just one tiny aspect. I think now we've taken that away. That ship has sailed for the moment. until someone releases some new crazy way of listening to music that you have to actually, that it becomes on something. So until that comes around, that is not an option. However, what it has done, while everyone's bitching and moaning about how music is now free and not valued, it's opened up an entire new door. In fact, it's opened up a fucking house with all of these options in, which is technology, which has allowed you to monetize 10 other things. So the music is a vehicle. The music is the thing that you say, this is what people are going to buy into because they love my music. Are they going to pay for it? No, but they're going to fall in love with me because of the music. They're going to fall in love with me because I'm an artist and this is art. And they're going to fall in love with me, but how I monetize it is this, and this could be one of 10 different things. So what bands are doing is they're trying to monetize everything, and I don't think it's the way to do it. I think make fucking great music and just get it out there, and make content and get it out there and make people fall in love with you and say, by the way, the money is here. This is the pot. X marks the spot. There's the money. And I think that's the question we should be asking. Isn't, can we make money through music? It is, as a band and as an artist, how do we monetize what we do? I think that's the question. And I think there are many, many ways that you can do that. But it all comes down to the same thing, which is building love in what you do as an artist, in being an artist, in putting out music, in being a part of a club that people want to be a part of. And then you're just finding a few little things and saying, there's the brand, there's the logo, or there's the picture, or there's, you know, there's the meet and greets, or whatever it is. That's the bit you monetize.
So it's monetizing sort of everything around the music.
Yeah, why not? Like, everyone's trying to monetize the music. Make the music fall in love with, people fall in love with it. Monetize other shit, and don't try and monetize everything. You know, it's the same thing when people ask me about going on tour. I can't make money going on tour. No, so. Like, when you put adverts out, you don't expect people to pay you for your advert, do you? Like, you say, I'm advertising, I have to pay for that. That's what tour is nowadays. Nowadays, tour is fun, it's a payoff, it's a way to reward your followers and your audience, but in which case, it's going to cost you money. But is it worth it if you can monetize it when you bring your next album out and sell that, or you have that for free and you monetize it with merch, or you monetize it with something else? Is it worth it? Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of it like advertising. Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll go on to question number 2. So this is from We Are Troubadour via Instagram, and they've asked, what's the one thing you know that's had the most impact on sales for a show?
And this is a really interesting question, and the reason is not because I've got a really good answer for this, but the interesting thing for me is this is something that crops up all of the time in business and and with the questions that we have. Is if I said to you, for example, I'm going to the gym, what's the one exercise that I can do to get ripped? Then you go, well, there's one exercise that you can do for your arms, but like, what about your back? What about your shoulders? What about your legs? What about your core? All of that other stuff. And then, you know, one thing is very, very difficult. So is there one thing? It would probably depend on different bands, because everyone's got different skill sets and different facilities available to them. But for me, what's interesting is I think people are usually interested in the one thing. They're usually just saying, what's the one thing I could do to improve this? Which, whilst it's a good question, the one thing that you can do to impact your sales is figure out the shittest part you've got and fix it. It's everything to me. So, you know, when it comes to, for a show, how you're going to get people to your show, if I was going to give you an answer of the one thing, I would say bands don't work on the one-to-one. That would be my answer. However, that would be the same thing as if I said, how do I get ripped when I go to the gym? And someone says, well, your eating is the first thing to sort out. You're still not going to get ripped, but at the same point, that's the one consistent answer. I think with this, if I was going to say what one thing, it would be the one-to-one. So what happens is people say to everybody, I'm doing a show, who wants to come to my show? And out of the 1,000 people that they've got on their audience, 10 people will say yes. And then they're like, well, I've got 1,000 people and only 10 people are coming. That's not enough people. Whereas you could probably get 50 people if you actually went about it in a different way. If you actually phoned Jim and just went, Jim, we've got a show next Wednesday. What are you doing? I want you to come down. Jim would probably go, yeah, I'm free actually, I'll come down. But if Jim just sees it on a random Facebook post, he just goes, I might do, I might not. So for me, the one-to-one, I think the one-to-one is now so important in business. I think it's so important in social media. And I think it's the most underused, underrated tool in social media, because social media has become this thing where people think it's advertising and marketing. Social media is the entire thing. It's the whole fucking package. It's how you learn about your business. It's how you learn about your audience. It's how you bring value to your customers. It's how you give. It's how you sell. It's how you customer service. It's the whole thing. And it's not just an advertising board, which is what people tend to think of it. It's like that. If you want an advertising board, just go and buy a bus stop, or just go and buy an advert on a bus stop so people walking past it. And that's what people are seeing. How many of you guys remember when you went for a walk today past a bus stop and you saw an advert? How many of you guys can remember what the advert was? I can't remember at all. Yeah. It was there and it probably went in, but that's brand building, but it didn't make me go, oh, I have to go and buy this. And that's what people are using social media for. They're just saying, I'm scrolling, and there's an advert for something. I didn't really see it because I'm not paying attention, because our brain tunes out. Because you have to remember, when it comes to brand awareness and when it comes to advertising and marketing, we are literally surrounded by household names. The camera is a Sony camera. The laptop is a Mac laptop. The mug has been brought to you by the working man. There's 15 different bands behind us. And that's just in this shot. Like right now, my t-shirt, my jeans, your clothes, like everything is just a brand. So our brains have gone, I can't take all that information. So we just block it all out and we don't really see it. So we just go a t-shirt, some jeans, a pair of shoes. It goes in a little bit. But if you actually go on the one-to-one and you actually get in touch with all of your audience who live in that area and just say, what are you doing next Wednesday? I really, really want you to come down to this show. You haven't seen us for a while. I think we've improved. I think we'd have a great night together. Come down, just come down and see us play, and let's have a drink afterwards. I think you'd get 3 times the amount of people. So if I was going to look at one thing, it would be that. However, I also think, that one thing is a dangerous game. I think we should be looking at what many things could we do, because as soon as that's out, what's the second thing? Well, the second thing is, what are you doing on your show that's different, so that someone who's seen you before is actually got a reason to come? That in itself is something that could bring you a shit ton more people to your shows. But if we're only going for the one thing, that's out of the window. So, what are we doing on the merch stand? What new songs are we playing? What are we bringing to people that's going to change their night, so they go, oh, that's really, really good. There's loads of them. There's 10 of them. There's 20 of them. We could probably think of 20 of them if we put our heads together. So I think it's dangerous thinking of the one thing, but if I was going to go for the one thing, it'd be the one-to-one.
Yeah. No, I think it's so effective though, isn't it? Because when you get invited personally by someone, it instantly makes you feel more wanted. And isn't that like, oh, I want to go for them.
And isn't that weird? Yeah. Because what you've done is you've just said, who wants to come to my show on Facebook, or who wants to come to my show, as in, I'll give you a shout and do you want to come to my show? It's exactly the same thing. Yeah. It's just one of them is lazy shit. One of them is, I'm a lazy shit, and I just want everyone to just I click my fingers and you do the thing I want you to do. I want you to buy an album, buy my album. I want you to come to my show, come to my show. Whereas if someone just goes, dude, I've got a new album, I've put my heart and soul into this, I need you to buy this. I really want you to buy it. Not only do I need you to buy it from a guilt point of view, but I think you're gonna like this. I'm really proud of it. I'm really excited. And I know you like my music because you follow me, and I think this will be something that will be in your car, or I think this will be in, on your playlist. And, I think you need to get this. I think that is a totally different message, even though it's exactly the same.
Yeah, and more people always respond than you think as well. Okay, are you ready for question 3?
I was born ready. I was born like this.
Alright, so this is from Luke.
Okay.
And he says, what would you say the most important thing is when it comes to branding yourself online? I'm setting up a tattoo shop and I don't know where to start with creating a brand.
And what's amazing about tattoos, as I don't have any tattoos,
Either, yeah.
but what's amazing about tattoos is they are the brand. They are the art. And what I love that my audience is not just musicians, but it's creatives. I love that, because I think of musicians and tattooists as so similar, just creating amazing art. And the thing with being a tattooist is just like being in a band and being a musician, when you make an amazing piece of art, the world wants to see it. We live in a time now where art is valuable. And what's really amazing is we talk about how music isn't valuable. I think art's more valuable now than it's ever been. I think really people appreciate it, and the reason for that is because we've gone through, this is a bit deep and meaningful. I think we have gone through a time over the last 100 years which has culminated over the 90s and the early 2000s into building businesses which are very structured and very regimented, which is why you get those kind of TV shows which take the piss and say things like "computer says no." And there's a great book by Seth Godin, who's just a mastermind genius, and in it he has this quote which he says everything's systemized. He says, if you go into McDonald's and you order a McDonald's Big Mac and a Coke, eat half the Big Mac and drink half the Coke, and then put the other half of your Big Mac into your Coke, walk up to the counter and just say, I can't drink my Coke, there's a fucking half a Big Mac stuck in it. Because the system hasn't been designed, everyone will go, oh, shit, I don't know what to do. But the queue is mounting up, we don't want to cause a scene. They'll probably either give you your money back or they'll give you another Big Mac and Coke, because everything's just so systemized. And all of a sudden, we are now entering a time where people are realizing that because of social media, because of virality or whatever, virality, whatever the word is, because of that, people are appreciating beautiful things more than they've ever done because the technology is there to allow it. You're just scrolling through your Instagram and all of a sudden a beautiful picture will pop up and you just think, wow, that's absolutely fantastic.
So accessible.
Yeah, and art is valuable. It's and I'm not talking about valuable as in £5, £10. I'm talking about building a brand valuable. I'm talking about change the rest of your life valuable. And when you are a tattooist, you have the power to trigger emotion that most people can't do. Like when I see an amazing tattoo, I'm literally, my world stops and I'm like, fuck, that's incredible. You know, not just a picture, not just art as in it's drawn, but then it's gone onto the skin and the actual contours of the arm and how it all fits together is a true art form. When you see something which is that good, you just think, fuck, that's incredible. It's shareable, it's likable, it's commentable. I think, and it's like when an artist picks up a guitar and they sit and they just play an amazing song. Like Damian Rice can pick up a guitar and sing a song and make me just think, fuck, he's just amazing. He's just jaw-droppingly amazing. And so that's the thing that's going to build your brand. It's the thing that you're already doing. It's the thing that you love to do. That's the best bit about this is we're not talking about shitty business stuff and how to advertise and boosting. We're talking about making art, which is the stuff that we got into to do this. I got into being a bass player because I wanted to create music and play music. Luke got into be a tattooist because he loves art, he loves tattoos, and he wants to bring value doing that. That's the thing to do. And if you haven't got enough people as yet paying you for tattoos, the way to do that is go and find people and just say, dude, let me create some sick tattoos on your arm. And if some amazing tattooist said to me, look, I'll stick a tattoo on as long as you're going to put me on all of your Instagram and all that kind of stuff and promote it, I'd be like, right, yeah, it's amazing. I love art. And so, you know, if at this moment in time people are looking at it and saying, I'm not ready to pay for it, then what you've got to do is you've got to get your work out there. And that is on paper and it's on skin and it's just doing the thing that you absolutely love to do. Just because, and this is this is something we should cut for Instagram, just because you are going from loving to do something into making money from it, it doesn't mean that the passion is gone, and it doesn't mean you care any less, and it doesn't mean that gives you the right to say, well, I'm not doing it anymore because I'm not getting paid for it. It doesn't give you the right to do that. What it gives you the right to do is just say, I want to make money from what I do, my passion, which I absolutely love to do. If I don't want to do it, I don't have to take the job on. That's the great thing about being self-employed. However, there is more than just an hourly rate at stake. You know, if someone comes along that's an influencer that can actually influence your career, then it's just time. It's just you saying, I'll pop down, I'll do a tattoo, or I'll pop along and I'll play some music if it's going to get you stuff. And I see all of these forums all the time about people saying, oh, we're not getting paid, we're just, you know, we're just getting, what's the word they always use? we're not getting paid for it. We're just actually
Exposure?
getting, it's always exposure in it. We're just getting, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. And because you can say no. If someone says, look, I haven't got any money, but I can give you exposure, then what you do is you leverage the exposure. So if someone says, I can't give you any money, but I can give you exposure, and they say, by the way, it's primetime BBC Radio 1, and there's probably going to be 3 million people listening, fucking right, that's worth free. Like, that is absolutely worth free. If it's someone's birthday party and there's 20 people there and they don't want to pay for it, just go. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And there's everything in between. If you're going to go and play something which has got millions of people listening and they want you to play for free, is it worth it? Yeah. If it's, you know, I have to go and play a gig and there may or may not be some people in there, but there may be some music industry people there. You weigh up. Do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? Have I got the time? Am I going to gain anything from it? Can I do social media from it? So with this, do the thing that you were born to do. The thing that brings you passion, which is create beautiful art. And if people are asking you to do art which isn't that good, that you're not proud of, then in your spare time, go and do the art that you think is the most beautiful stuff that you can do and share it. Hashtag the shit out of it. Do one every single day and hashtag it on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, because your Instagram will absolutely grow if there's beautiful art. If every single day there's a beautiful tattoo on your Instagram of something that you've done, then I guarantee if you're hashtagging that and the word will spread, it will grow, and then it's just a matter of time. And that patience thing then comes in, where the matter of time, where we did a video earlier on and I was saying, I gave people an update, which is on the YouTube. I gave people an update of where I am. My social media side of things now is 1 year old. In the next week or two, it's 1 year old. And things are starting to kick off so fast all of a sudden. And I'm thinking, wow, it's taken me a year of, everyone knows how much content I create. I do a video every single day. I'm on Instagram every single day. All of my day is social media, and it's 1 year and it's starting. It's not kicking off, it's starting for me to go, fuck, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. I'm actually gonna do it. This is gonna work. But it's taken me a year of hard slog before I've even gone, shit, this is gonna work. So it's gonna take me another year before it actually starts working properly, and probably another year after that before I go, it worked and is carrying on working. So, you know, you can't just put a piece of art out there and just say, why have I not got loads of tattoos? So I would say that the key is do the thing that brings you passion and make people emotional via your art. Then do that consistently. Don't just think because you've done it once, it'll keep working. Just do it consistently, again and again. More pieces, more styles, more things that you love to do. And people 100% will buy into that with tattoos
on Instagram. And in terms of like branding, would you say essentially a head of logo, a head of brand image and everything like that, just focus on what you're doing and build a brand around you? Yeah,
but I also think the great thing with this is when you're an artist, I mean, who's better to brand you than an artist? I mean, you are the master of your own creation. So, you know, some awesome piece of tattoo, some tattoo or some logo. I mean, if you're an artist, you have that creativity that you can do. So I would go to town on the branding. I'd absolutely go to town, but I just make sure it was all from here without sounding really kind of like, you know, deep and meaningful. I just make sure I believed in it, because if you 100% believe in something, it's so much easier for it to flow.
Yeah. So this is the last question here, and this is Megan via Twitter. Says, hi Damo, what are your opinions on royalty splits and bands? So I'm just one guy. Yeah. So I'm just going to give you my opinion. Now, I think people watching this will have divided opinions, but this is just my opinion from being in bands and from seeing lots of bands and seeing the longevity of the bands. I'm kind of torn with this answer, because if you are the person in that band who is the key, they are, for want of a better word, the linchpin. They are the person that holds the whole thing together with their songwriting, and it's all about that person. Then they deserve the extra. They deserve it, because, you know, when you look at some great artists who are songwriters, that are singers, that sit down with their guitar and they go, I kind of write from the heart, and we're in a band, but you know, it's mostly me, then I think that does need to be recognized by the rest of the band. However, I am such a big fan of saying this is the long term, and there's 3 or 4 people in this, and if one person is pulling against you with your band, very difficult for it to work. So
I am a big fan of royalty splits where it's just, look, we'll just have a third each or we'll just have a quarter each. Now, if you just go, yeah, but obviously one person is standing out, obviously, then that needs to be recognised. But I think with a lot of bands, there's so much work that goes unsaid, and someone is writing the songs, but someone else is promoting the shit out of it and pushing it and finding the gigs and all of that kind of stuff. So all of a sudden, that could be the linchpin. Just because someone's a great singer-songwriter, they might get nowhere at all unless the bass player is actually booking up the tour and actually booking the merchandise and inviting people down, and they might be a demon networker, and that might be the tipping point that then tips the band over the edge. So just to put everything into one basket and just say, well, you write the songs so you get all of the money and the rest of us will be on a wage. Don't forget as well, when you're in a band, if you're in a band of 4 people plus you have a manager who might take 20%, that's 5 people. So for 5 people to be on £20,000 a year, which is, let's face it, is like, it's not minimum wage, but it's not far off it. You need to be on a decent amount of money over a period of time. So you need to be on 15-20 grand a year in order to make this work, because you're going to be spending a lot more money on the road than you are when you're at home. So say you're on 20 grand a year and there's 5 of you, that is £100,000 before anything. Like nothing, without paying for a record, without paying for recordings, without paying for advertising or promotion or PR or anything at all. Literally, for you to go, look, you need to survive, and you're on the road, so you're going to be eating shitty food and all that kind of stuff, so we're going to need to keep you on it. So in order for you to be on 20 grand, that's £100,000. Now, how much do you get paid for your one play on Spotify? Or was it 0.006p or whatever it is? So in which case, you have to make a fuck ton of money in order for you to basically to make even 10 grand. That's still £50,000, and people are watching this going, fucking hell, I can't make anything. How am I going to make £50,000? So, you know, in which case, when the band does start going and you actually do start getting somewhere, then if it were me, I'd be looking at ways of keeping everyone together as long as possible. So, you know, if someone does all of the work, I think they should be rewarded for that 100%. But I think there is so much that goes into a band. I think personally, my feeling is that should also be recognized. And nowadays, you know, there are so many ways to make money that if it were me, for example, and I'm not a songwriter, then this is what I would do is, as the bass player, as soon as it goes down this route, this is where you're fucked, right? So you and me in a band, now you are a songwriter and you are the singer and you are the face of the band. So we do a band together and I'm just the bass player and nobody gives a fuck. Like literally nobody cares, because everyone's like, oh, Melissa, she's amazing and I love the way she sings and her songs are so meaningful, and then she talks and she says so much sense, and who the fuck's the old guy in the background? He's just the bass player. That's fine. And then all of a sudden it starts coming to royalty splits, right? And all of a sudden we are getting played on Radio 1 and we are doing the tours, and all of a sudden you go and buy a really nice new car and I'm going, I've got no money, I'm totally skint, and you're going, I write the songs. As an entrepreneur, do you know the first thing I would do is I'd be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm going to go and build something, as we talked about earlier on with building content. I'm going to go and build something and I'm going to rinse the shit out of this, and I'm going to make £1 million, and you're going to look at me and go, that's not fair, and I'm going to go, no, it's not. And I'm going to go and do a content thing, and I'm going to say, I'm going to film all the shit we do, and I'm going to build as the audience builds, I'm going to be in control of this. So we're going to need it, because we're going to need that audience participation and the engagement, but I control it. And if I control that, then your songwriting, unless you are Ed Sheeran or Adele, your songwriting credits mean fuck all, because I'm the one who's going to make the money. Because going back to the thing that we've talked about, which is if you can monetize it, imagine if, and I know this works because I was talking to someone today who has a client who's a YouTuber who has just done the same thing for their content. This is a YouTuber who's just done a subscription, and he's got 3,000 people subscribed, and they're paying between, you know, £10+ a year, maybe a month, I don't know, whatever. But even if it's £1 a month and you've got 3,000 people, it's still your salary. Like, and he's just starting out. So if we did that and I was Taylor Swift and I went, oh, so I can put music out on Spotify, that's fantastic, and I can make 0.0006p, fantastic. So in order to make £1,000, I have to get a #1 in every fucking country in the world. Or what I can do is go, well, I'm already Taylor Swift. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offer a subscription of content, which is free to make, and all you need is a video person and an architect to help you get it out there. But because I'm Taylor Swift, I'm going to charge £50 a year, or or £10 a month, or whatever it's going to be. But you get to be in the Taylor Swift subscription package, where you're getting content from her every single day. All of a sudden, can you imagine if it's 50 quid a year and you're Taylor Swift and you can get 1 million people to sign up to it?
Yeah.
Do the maths.
Insane.
Why the fuck is that not happening? £50 million. We're not talking about like, oh, I can make an extra £5,000. If you're Biffy Clyro, if you're Taylor Swift, you have got the power to go and make millions and millions of pounds, and all you need to do is pick up your fucking phone and make content and find a way to get it to people that will not go outside of the thing. But, people say, oh yeah, but nowadays you can just hack into everything and everything will get shared. Yeah, it will, but not that much. Because if you're doing a bit of content every single day, no fucker's gonna do that. You'll get the odd hack, but on the whole, people will go, oh, I can't be arsed, I'll just pay my money and I'll just get Taylor Swift in my face every single day. So it's a way that's been done on YouTube. It just needs to come across to the music industry. Why it's not happening is fucking mental, it's beyond me. But when it comes to royalty splits, I think there's more ways of making money than music. So you've got to be really careful if you're the singer-songwriter that you take it all to yourself, because someone like me will come along and fuck you right up by taking the money from someone else. It's just the way it is. So I would say it should be recognized. However, you need to look after the people that look after you, is what I'd say.
Yeah, and as you say, I mean, in the long term as well, like people will probably bands will stay together longer.
And the biggest band and the most successful band probably of all time, U2.
Yeah.
And what do?
They split everything.
25% each. And so nobody's like renting a song. It's like, well, we're all going to make loads of money. Don't worry about it. We're all in this together. We're all a team. And what happens? They stay together forever. I'm not saying it is the only rule, but at least it stops the politics. And if not, get it sorted out really quick. Because I know that everyone's happy until money starts coming in, and as soon as money's involved, at that point, fuck me, it splits a business up. It splits a band up. As soon as money is involved, when you're the boss. Well, you're the boss, you hate it. That's just the way it works. It's so easy to go, oh yeah, but Richard Branson, yeah, but fuck Richard Branson, because everyone else is hated as a boss. That's just the way it works. So, when money comes in and there's 4 people and one person's making 50% more than everyone else, everyone goes, well, fuck you, because I want to write the songs. And if not, I'll go and do something else. And it's just, don't know, for me, it's all about longevity and making something work.
All right, well, we are out of questions.
Cool, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Some really good stuff in there, a lot of information. So you need to smash the subscribe. We're going to do a lot more competitions. So we're gonna start giving better competitions. I'm going to do the Facebook reviews, and I'm going to offer it as a competition. So for today, if you want a Facebook review of your band, I will do it. I'm not just going to give them out willy-nilly, but I will do it for a competition winner. If you've got this far with this video and you want this to be you want me to review your Facebook, and I've already had 300 or 400 bands that have said that they want to do this. If you want it, you need to comment down below and just put the name of your band and a link. Obviously the YouTube or the Facebook or whatever it is, but put the link below of your band, and you need to subscribe to the YouTube and you need to subscribe to the Instagram. This is a two-way thing. I'm going to bring you value personally, but you got to bring me value. I want more people on my Instagram. My Instagram is just not big enough. So this is the way I'm going to bring value. You subscribe to my Instagram and my YouTube, and I'll get around to doing your Facebook. Simple as that. Ooh. Cool. Otherwise, get on it. Smash the subscribe, smash the like, hit me up with a comment, say hello. Otherwise, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.